Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are handling Sangeerna Nadai in level 5. I just introduced few interesting sequences on the way you need to construct a 9. Today I'm going to teach you more interesting phrases. Before I get into the class in much depth, I will start this class with the Tirukkural. தூங்காமை கல்வி துணிவு உடைமை இம்மூன்றும் நீங்கா நிலன் ஆள்பவர்க்கு. What is the meaning of it? நாட்டை ஆளும் அரசனுக்கு ஒரு செயலை செய்வதில், if a person is ruling a country, if he has to do a specific job, he should not delay. காலம் தாழ்த்தாமை, he should not delay in doing a specific job. Is கல்வி துணிவு, is knowledge, is education, and is boldness. மூன்றும் எப்போதும் நீங்காமல் இயல்பாக இருத்தல் வேண்டும். All these three attributes should not lower, and it should be naturally embodied with him. And that's the characteristic of a great ruler. With this good thought, I'm entering into the class. Last class I introduced the sequence and the concept of how Sangeernam is arrived at. I also taught you using just the base phrase, tadim tadiketatum, how you can carve out in a descending order with a carveways with an increasing manner with 1 plus 8, 2 plus 7, using a single beat version. The second version I taught you is taking two tadim tadiketatums and how to make an arrangement with 8 and 7 and 6. When you take an 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, in between you pair it up with 1 and 1. When you take with 7, you took 7 plus 7, 14, in between you pair it up with 2 and 2. There was a progression in between of 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. Using that order, you were able to play, you can play this Sangeerna Nadai to get the groove of Sangeerna Nadai. Now, I'll teach you more interesting phrase combinations of 18 aksharas. In this class, you can master this and you can come out arrive with more patterns and then get practice continuously using that base Nadai with varied phrases. And once when you play 100 phrases with different varieties into Sangeerna Nadai, you get the hang of it. And then the next complexity is arrangement of phrases to form a sequence, which is called a korvai, which you can make as 9 aksharas per beat into 8 is 72 aksharas. If you can make any korvai for 72 aksharas, which I will teach you in the next class, few interesting korvais, you can formulate yourself and then you can try playing that 72 akshara korvai into a Sangeerna Nadai. But for that to do, you have to do a marking where it falls after every 9 aksharas, and you should have a chiseled way of playing, not a lakshima vasikudadu, lakshanama vasikanu. You should play with grammar. Then only it gets seated in proper, every finger, 9 aksharas. I'll teach you how to go about it. And today I'll teach you through a few interesting sequences. The first the phrase I'm going to consider today is for 18, 3 plus 5 into 3. Thong tadikitatum tadikitatum tadikitatum. That's the first phrase. So which gives a pattern. Thong tadikitatum 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 is 18. 3 plus 5 into 3 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. phrase, what you can do is dhutadikitatum, tadikitatum, tadikitatum. Give a carving in between. Make a 6 split equal. But for each tadikitatum, before you pad it up with one carve, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 5. Tadikitatum, tadikitatum, tadikitatum. So when you play that, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 5, for the first alone you give the dum padding, which gives an emphasis that you're going to start this particular thing. You can't start with a carve, but you can give it an emphasis. That's the second phrase of approach. The third approach is all tadinganatum. So now initially when you start it itself, it cannot be simple. You take with a little complex phrase and suddenly introduce the simple phrase. It gives a beauty to this tadikadatum. That's the next phrase. Now, this tadikkidatum can be viewed in a different formulation of 6. Tadidhum, takadinatham, tadikkidatum, all are equal. Tadidhum, takadinatham, tadikkidatum, all are same. So when you combine all these three types of 6, it's again 18. Tadittum, takadanatham, tadikkadakadam, dattintang, 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 dattintang. That gives a lot of punch. The next phrase, what I'm going to consider, Talangittatakadanna is 8. Takitatum is 10. 8 plus 10 combination. That's the phrase. The next is 11 and 7. So when the number increases, the rule of thumb, the beauty here is Sangeerna Nadai has got scope because the number is more, 18. So you can play along with the number. You can do 11 plus 7 or 13 plus 5. And so it's a larger number. So you can try to make a lot of phrases out of it and then fill it with frills and colors, add colors to it. Tadittakadadadong, tadikkadakadam, dattintang, dattintang. Taddim, tadikadakam. You can go with that. Takadana takadanatham, takadana tadikketattu, dattintang, takadana is 10. So you can combine beautifully. No, that's the beauty of it. Takadana tadikketattu, dattintang. The next phrase, Kettatakadina. What is that? Kettatakadina. 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4 is again 18. You can use all these phrases and embellish this Sangeerna Nadai to a greater extent. So I want you to practice all these phrases along with the phrases what I taught you in the last class. That itself is about 9 of them, and then taking 2 nines and then a combination of a progression, and then these complex phrases of arrangement of, I'll go about one by one. Thong tadikitatum tadikitatum tadikitatum. Phrase number 1. Next phrase, dum tadikitatum tadikitatum tadikitatum. Tadikitatum tadikitatum tadikitatum. Talangita takadinna takitatum tadikitatum. Taditum takadinna tom tadikitatum. Tadit takadinna tong tadikitatum. Dit takadinna tong tadum tadikitatum. Takadinna tom tadikitatum. Kitatakadinna, kitatakadinna, kitatakadinna. Takitatakadinna, takitatakadinna. All these phrases, if you can embellish and play, this can be a wonderful exercise for you to get the hang of Sangeerna Nadai to a greater extent. Next class, I will teach you how to go and transition into a Madhyama Kala sol. Like as we did for the Misra Nadai. Tanga din 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 tanga din din tanga tanga din din tanga din 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 tanga taka dimi taka dimi dimi taka tanga din 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 tanga din din tanga tanga din 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 tanga taka dimi dimi taka. We are going to use the same pattern here. Taka dimi taka dimi dimi taka. So it's an 18 akshara Madhyama Gala phrase sequence we need to play with great speed. You should have a lot of control when you have to do this. That's what I'm going to teach you in the next class, and I'll also teach you a few interesting korvais in Sangeerna Nadai. With that, I think it should be a reasonable amount of vocabulary for you to play Sangeerna Nadai at some places. So you do all these exercises and come, and next class we'll wind it up with Madhyama Kala sequence, how to transition about it, how to go about it, and a few interesting korvais I'll teach, and I'll conclude Sangeerna Chapadalam. Until then, Povanur RVA signing off today with Tirukkural. Arangidukkaadu allavai nikki, Marangidukka manam udayadu arasu. What is the meaning of it? Aatchi muraikku uriya arathil tavaramal aramalladavattrai nikki. Whatever is required to administer, he needs to follow this right principles and clear the obstacles, whatever comes in its way, no matter what it is. Veerathil kuraivu padada manathai udayavane siranda arasanavan. And if he has the warriorship and the bold nature, if he can withhold, he will be termed or deemed a great administrator. With this good thought, I'm concluding this class. I will conclude the Sangeerna Nadai in the next class with some interesting korvais, a simple korvai, how you can approach in playing and showcasing in bright opportunities. Until then, Povanur RVA signing off.